What's up YouTube land, Zeno Gaming here for the 4th episode of my MotoGP career mode experience. Today we will start off our first race in the Moto3 category at Qatar Lusail International Circuit for the Visit Qatar Grand Prix. Interesting track, really wide, really big track. Always thought it'd be interesting if Formula 1 went there. It's really nice track to drive. Here we are just doing some of the practice programs that you can do for development points, because in Moto3, unlike the Red Bull Rookie Bike Cup bikes, you can develop the Moto3 bikes, but there's very limited on development. You can only do the frame of the bike and the engine power. So far we'll be looking to work towards improving this bike, because it's not the fastest bike in this category, but it's one of the better ones for sure. The Snipers team is who we are racing for. We are teammates with Romano Fenati and Tony Alberola, so that'll be interesting to be working with the bad boy himself, Fenati, as we complete a quick lap simulation. So the 3 different programs are Track Affinity, which is the racing line and getting acquainted with the racing line. You have the race simulation laps, 5 laps on a tyre, and quick lap, which is qualifying purposes. And was getting used to the bike, the Moto3 bike, a little bit different to the Red Bull bike. It might be a bit easier to ride, I felt at some stages, just a little bit smoother on the power. I don't know if that's true or not. It is very similar. I think it's slightly quicker is the Moto3 bike. I didn't find it was too big a difference. And from the combined practice times, we finished 11th, which was good enough for Q2. At the time, I didn't know the rules of Moto3 and Moto2, because I don't watch those categories as much as I do MotoGP, and I thought I didn't make it at first because I thought you had to be in the top 10. Then I realised it was the top 18 gets you through to Q2. So we'll be in Q2. As you can see, Garcia has been quick so far this weekend. Our teammate Fenati also at the top of the timesheet, so that will be interesting to see what he can do this weekend. As now we will head to qualifying for the Qatar Grand Prix.
We're back at the circuit for the second qualifying session.
And as you can see here, we have the Q1 people and the Q2 people, and it will be really interesting to see where we can qualify. As Garcia sets his first lap of 11.3, which is a quick lap time around this circuit, and our best lap time for the first lap was a 1 minute 12.699. 2 minute 12, not 1 minute, sorry. And then the second lap was an improvement actually, but unfortunately I cut the corner, which is unfortunate. So we did go 2 tenths quicker, but because of the corner cut, that wasn't a valid lap time. So we came into the pit lane, we put on a fresh new set of tyres, and this is our last and final lap in Q2. We are not improving at this current stage, so it looks like we could be starting P8 on the grid here in Qatar as we come across the line for a 12.8, which was not an improvement. So it will be 8th, with Tom Booth Amos taking the pole position, with Garcia 2nd, Darren Binder 3rd. Our teammate Fenati has qualified 6th, with ourselves in 8th. For the race, I decided to go with soft front, soft rear. I thought the tyre felt really good in the practice, so I thought I'd go for the best tyre available in this 9-lap race. You can see the grid here. Booth Amos on the pole, Garcia 2nd, Binder 3rd, Masia 4th, Kennett 5th, Fenati 6th, and our other teammate Tony Alberola is in P15. So it's kind of Fenati's more towards the top, we're in a bit of the middle, and then Alberola's at the edge of the points there. So it'll be interesting to see how we go as a team in this first race.
The Qatar Motorcycle Grand Prix will start shortly here in Doha, and the riders are ready to compete on an...
So here we go, selecting first gear, clutch in, waiting for the lights, and let's go for the Qatar Grand Prix. Poor start from us here as we get swamped by the Leopard bike and some other bikes. And now 13th, 14th, 15th heading to turn 1, starting at 8th in the grid, so it's not been the most ideal. So we dive it back down the inside, rubs with that bike, mature who it was, and now we move back into 10th place up to 9th here as we come through into 7th place, and then on the back of Nicola Antonelli now. So it's been a good start from us. Not really, actually, originally a poor start, but then we make up the ground in turn 1 and 2 to move up 1 place from our original starting spot. So 7th place it is for now as we chase Nicola Antonelli for 6th, and our teammate Finardi just ahead in 5th, so he's gained a place as well on this opening lap, which is good to see our bikes moving forward. As we go around the outside of Antonelli, he got a terrible run out of that corner, so that is now P6 to start this Grand Prix. Now we have to stick with the top 5. They have been quicker than me all weekend, but hoping to stick with them. Unfortunately, it's now lap 3 and we haven't been able to stick with them, and we run it a little bit too hot into the last corner here, turn 15, and now Booth Amos, who did start on pole position, had a terrible first 3 laps, is now fighting us. He almost got past us. We were able to get the power down before him and power out the corner, but he's in the slipstream here. You can see very powerful the slipstream for these bikes, and Booth Amos pulls alongside into turn 1. We outbrake him into turn 1 though, but we run it a bit deep. He's going to be able to keep the tighter line, yes, and he slots it through. Nice aggressive riding from Booth Amos. He takes 6th place away from us. He's going to be very quick now though. He's going to absolutely have to fly to catch up to the rest of the field. They're about 3-4 seconds ahead, and he's already gapping us on the run to turn number 4, so that's unfortunate. But 7th place for now is still quite good. Still 5 laps to go in this Grand Prix, and we don't look like we have an answer for Booth Amos. And now would come around. Sergio Garcia has won the Grand Prix. You can see Booth Amos making an overtake on Finardi for 2nd place as we would come across the line to finish 7th. We were just riding by ourselves, see the gap behind. It's quite comfortable, and everyone ahead had gone. They just had the pace. And you can see we finished 19 seconds behind the win, and Booth Amos finished 7 seconds, so he put 12 seconds on us in 5 laps. His pace was absolutely incredible. You see he done a 10.5 fastest lap of the race. Our teammate Finardi gets a podium, 3rd place. Della Porta 4th, and Joan Masia 5th with Binder 6th. So Canet finishing behind us in 8th, and Galito Toba in 9th. So good Grand Prix from us, and now we will be moving on to the Argentinian Grand Prix in Argentina, another track that is quite nice to ride around, with some good flying corners and that really long back straight. You see some of the results here: Rodrigo in 10th, Arenas 11th, our other teammate Alberola in 15th. So that is all positive signs. John McPhee struggling in 24th place there. We know what he can do on a Moto3 bike in real life. Unfortunately, not quite the same in the game. As we now move through to Argentina, where we are now in qualifying, and it was a draw in practice, and I was feeling really confident in practice about possibly maybe getting a podium, but as soon as it started raining, I think the confidence just went with the rain. As the rain came, the confidence went. In terms of outright pace, here is our quick lap, our first quick lap of the session. It was really tricky to get the power down out of exits because of the rain, and you can see the wobble. I'm even trying to get the power down through there. Normally that corner is pretty much flat out in the Moto3 bike, and just couldn't get the power down, having wobbles. So really difficult conditions to ride in, and our first competitive lap will be a 2-minute 2. So we have a wobble again on the exit of the last corner, 2-minute 2.3. So not ideal, but the good thing about the rain conditions is you don't need to put too many sets of tyres. I just had the 1 set of tyres, did the whole session, and do a 2-minute 1.5 with 10 seconds left in the session. And now this is the last lap of the session to try and improve our position. We're currently 9th in the order, and this is our last lap. So like I was saying before, just constantly every lap my time was getting better as I was getting more acquainted to the weather, and the track grip maybe was going. I doubt the track grip was going up because of the weather, but I don't know. Maybe the rain was getting a little bit lighter. Maybe there was track grip going up. I don't know. But just getting more confident. It just didn't look like it there, but going through turn 4. But we are improving with almost 4/10 down through the first sector. But the second sector, this sector here, seems to be where we are at our strongest. We're able to go really deep into the hairpin, keep the line as tight as possible, and then get the power not quite so smooth there, unfortunately. As you see, a huge wobble almost falling off the bike, but we are still improving. We're 1.1 seconds down. Who knows what it could have been if I didn't have that wobble out of the exit. That's cost us a lot of time down the straight, but unfortunately we did have that wobble. And now moving into this corner, I love this corner, just able to tip the bike in and just, you gotta hope it sticks. Not quite turned in and hit that apex, missed it quite badly. That's cost us even more time. Then through here in the dry it's really good, in the wet not so much. You gotta just wait, be patient, and eager to get the throttle, and you can see how much the bike is moving around in order to gain as much time as possible. That's probably cost us time now. Now braking into this tricky last corner. It's hard to spot the braking point and get the bike turned as far as possible. We've done it well there. Got the power down through the last corner, flat out. It's tricky though on a 2:01.1, so we improved massively on that last lap. But it's not enough to improve position, as the next time, best time was a 2:04 by Canet, so we're still about 8/10 off the next best time. But here we are, now moving on to the Argentinian Grand Prix with Lorenzo Della Porta on the pole position for this Grand Prix. We got a wet track. It's not raining, but it is a wet track, so that is going to be interesting to see how that all unfolds. So Della Porta, Masia and Finardi, our teammate third, Garcia the race winner in 4th place, Toba, Binder, then there was John Booth Amos in 7th, Canet in 8th, and we ourselves are lining up in 9th place. So it's going to be an interesting Grand Prix. John McPhee back in P21, Jacob Cornfellow in 25th place on the grid, and Rossi rounds out the grid. So this is going to be an exciting race, that's for sure. It'll be interesting to see if Garcia gets his second race win in a row, or if anybody else can challenge him out at the front.
Everything here is ready to start the race at Termas de Rio Hondo. Riders just have one thing on their mind now, being the...
So here we go for the Argentinian Grand Prix. 5 lights, and let's go for the Argentinian Grand Prix. It's been a poor start from us. Some other bikes think much better starts, and absolutely rocketing up the field. There goes Ramirez, and nice late in the brakes into turn 1. Just trying to keep the line as tight as possible, avoiding contact there, which is nice to see. Just nice and careful into turn 1. Don't want to drop the bike off very wide in turn 2 though, and we might be able to get the run though for turn 3. As you can see, we do have a bit of a run, feathering the throttle through turn 4, now in the slipstream, and this is where you can gain some good time on a good bike, as we're in the slipstream, and that is Rodrigo in 8th place now. So we're back up to where we started in 9th place on the run to turn 5, the hardest braking point on the track. And unfortunately we brake a bit early, and some other bikes come in, take our position. Arena's in there, the Leopard bike, not sure who that is, the Sky bike as well, that is Foggia, and we managed to round him back up around the outside. We've got a great run here, we're really wide, and now tighten the line back up, and we get past Rodrigo, and now we're on the back of Nicola Antonelli for 7th place, as Albert Arenas has crashed, unfortunately for him. Really tricky still in these conditions, wet track, as we run it very wide there, but we do get the job done on Antonelli, and he comes steaming back up the inside though. Antonelli wasn't going to give that up so quickly. We managed to hold it around the outside, yes we do. So back into 7th place. Will Antonelli have a look up the inside here? No, he won't. So So Della Porta leads the first lap after starting from the pole. Masia is second, Garcia is third, I think it's Binder in fourth, and Finardi fifth. Moving on to end of lap 2, start of lap 3, and here is Aaron Canet now, who was a bit further back, and he's now steamed past us for 7th place. We left the space there, we were a bit too deep into that corner, the last corner there, or second to last corner, and Canet gets through. So we're now in P8, Canet up to 7th, and he was very quick, was Aaron Canet, because as soon as he got the job done on us, he pulled away immediately and set the fastest lap of the race, so he had some serious pace, did Aaron Canet. We're trying to fight back, but they got this long straight, but unfortunately he's already pulled out a gap, so probably do not have a chance to even have an opportunity into the last corner, which is unfortunate. So 8th place it is for now, and now end of lap 4 here. Della Porta now sits the fastest lap of the race, and that's Antonelli coming up our inside. No, it's Toba, not Antonelli, my mistakes. And there you go, Canet 56.5, fastest lap of the race in clean air, but Toba has made the move on us, and we are back to 9th, which is not ideal. We need to be moving forward, not backwards in this Grand Prix, and the tricky conditions are not suiting my style at the minute, so we were much quicker in the dry through practice than we have been in the wet, so it's been unfortunate for us, but that's the way racing works sometimes. So we're struggling to get the power down off these corners, and we will be in P9 with no chance. We're not even in the slipstream, not sure why I'm not in the slipstream. Now moving on to the final lap of the Grand Prix, you can see that we have the bikes ahead have just absolutely pulled away. We've got nobody behind us. Sergio Garcia has won the Grand Prix, and just a thought of mine, I mean, I don't think it would make much of a difference on this kind of race, because this is only 9 laps, whatever it is. But if you were to do a full 100% race, I was thinking, like, I wonder if I could put dry tyres on, because the track looks quite dry. I mean, I wonder if it would be possible in the future game to have that ability if there was changing conditions and the track was drying out, or the track have that variable. If the track starts raining, you can change it from dry to wet tyres, or vice versa. Anyway, Sergio Garcia wins his 2nd race in a row, with Della Porta 2nd and Masia joins him on the podium. Binder 4th, Finardi 5th, Booth Amos 6th, Canet 7th, Toba 8th, and we'll round out 9th place. Get an engine upgrade, as we had earned enough development points, so that is always good. We've now got 2 on the engine and 2 on the frame. I believe it started nothing on the engine and 2 on the frame already, so we've done 2 engine upgrades after the first 2 races, which is always positive. We're going to have a bit more power for the next race, that Coda. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Please leave a like on the video, comment your feedback down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.